Hello everybody, welcome back to Huddersfield Tactical on TV for another live show this evening. A brand new weekly show bringing you to this channel every Friday evening, recapping all the transfer activity for the Terriers and look at some of the latest rumours that I may not have covered throughout the week as well. So yes, it's going to be a brand new show that's going to be happening every week, same time. And yeah, just think it's a nice little addition to the channel through the transfer window. And yeah, it just gives us all a chance to come on here and also speak about, anything that we've heard and kind of just report on everything and recap everything really as well. But yes, before we do get into it, and I'll say a few hellos as well in a moment, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, get your opinions in throughout the show. Or if you're watching it on playback as well, let me know your thoughts in the comments section as well. I know obviously everybody can't always watch it live. I do appreciate that. But yes, let's see who's in the chat though first. Binks, how are you? I'm doing all right, thanks. How are you? Michael says, evening, Ryan, hope you're okay. Hello to you, Michael. Good to see you. I'm all right, thank you. I hope you're well. Ian says, hi, mate, hope you're okay. Sorry, I can't stay tonight. I'll watch it back when I can. People, make sure to smash the like and subscribe if you're new. Yeah, big up. Thank you very much. Appreciate that those kind words, and thank you for dropping in even though you may be busy this evening. But yes, let's get straight into it then. So obviously the way we're going to do this, for every single week is, if there is any deals happened, we're going to look at the completed deals, kind of recap those first, and then we'll kind of, look at a few of those rumours that we've kind of been linked to as well. And then we'll kind of look at some of the newer rumours that I've not actually been able to cover in that week. So obviously there has been a few of the rumours since recently, that I haven't actually covered yet. So kind of have the opportunity to do so this evening as well. But yes, so let's get straight into it then. So look, obviously recap. We've had a busy week, haven't we, really, if you think about it. Obviously, I know kind of disappointed really that we haven't made another signing before this week ends. Obviously, it's Friday now, so I don't really see us making an announcement over the weekend. So it doesn't look like we're going to make another signing this week. I was hoping we get a third one at least, but no. But look, obviously the completed deal, obviously Joe Ledson, central midfielder, has signed for us on a free transfer, and also Marcus Harness, a winger, free transfer as well. Now, I'm not going to go into too much detail with these because we have covered these already, but this is just kind of a recap of where we're at really, guys. And obviously, but what we can say about these two signings, I think we're very happy with them all as a collective. To be honest with you, that's the impression I've got through the comments on here. And myself, I've already expressed how happy I am of these kind of additions that we've made. Both these players, championship quality players, and the fact that we've been able to get them in shows that we do have some ambition to go places next season. Of course, it's only a start, and I've got to remind myself of that because there's plenty of work still to be done, but it is a good start and we can't deny that. I think Ledson for me should be a contender for becoming our new captain. Obviously we do need to make the decision on the captain very, very soon, so it'll be interesting to see which player Lee Grant goes with when it's announced. But I think Ledson does have the qualities. He's shown it at Preston as well. He can be a captain, he's a leader. And I'd have no qualms about him getting the captaincy at this stage. I think Hans is another one that, is a player who is, capable of being one of those vocal ones in the dressing room too. But yeah, So yeah, that's the couple of players that were brought in, obviously, the past week. And that's as far as I'm going to go with those, because I've already kind of covered my thoughts and everything, really, in the previous videos and live shows that we've done. So that's just kind of get people up to date, if get people up to date with where we're at as well, kind of thing. That's why I kind of implemented it. Mag's rumours that Stoke City are taking Sorba Thomas on a season loan and Nathan Lowe to town on a season loan. I've not seen any official sources, Michael, on that, unfortunately, so I'm not really going to mention that. I have seen some rumours about Sorba Thomas potentially moving away to Stoke, but I've not actually seen any direct, reliable source to say that Nathan Lowe's coming the other way. No, because like I said, Nathan Lowe is only wanted. Stoke are only wanting to loan out Nathan Lowe. They don't want to sell him, so I don't think so. We're looking to get offload Sorba on a permanent. We don't want to loan him out to Stoke, so we don't want to loan him out. We want a permanent. We want him to be sold. So yeah, no, I've not got anything to say about that at this stage, because I don't think it's particularly reliable. I'm not saying that Sorba Thomas won't end up at Stoke, but it doesn't mention anything. I've seen what you're talking about. It doesn't mention anything about it being whether it's a loan or they're going to buy him. It doesn't say any details. It's just basically you're just spoon feeding what a random person said on social media. That's not a source to me, so I'm not going to cover it. Now, my next player I do want to kind of bring up is Nathan Lowe, actually, and these are my informations are from reliable sources. It's not just a case of just spoon feeding what people are saying on social media that don't really know what's going on, because there's a lot of those on X. But look, Nathan Lowe, potential loan for the season, as I did report on Monday, didn't I? I did that on Monday, the Nathan Lowe story. Obviously, Stoke did alert all of League One when they said that we're going to allow Nathan Lowe out on loan to a League One side next season. So Lowe, obviously, a striker who has shown how clinical he is in the division below Walsall, respectively, on loan from his parent club Stoke City last season. Obviously, before being recalled in January. But yes, look, like I said, he's shown his qualities. He's a talented player, technically gifted as well, clearly. And there's that really special aura about him, in my opinion. I do think he has. He's a confident lad, and rightly so. He backed it up with the goals, the contributions he's made for Walsall. And look, the lad did look too good for League Two. Let's put it that way. So yes, does seem kind of a sensible move for Stoke. Obviously, they clearly don't think he's going to get enough game time next season with them, so they think that see how he gets him in League One, and get consistent minutes with a League One side. Seems sensible for all parties, really, if they're not going to use him. Now, obviously, I haven't seen a recent update on this, actually. Wycombe Wanderers and Huddersfield Town are the two clubs leading the race now to loan Nathan Lowe next season. So yes, obviously, as we know, we did try and get Nathan Lowe back in January, didn't we? But obviously, Stoke didn't want to loan him back out again at that current moment. Now, obviously, this has come from the Book's Free Press, which of course is a reliable source because it is actually an actual outlet that actually reports on things. It's also worth noting as well, though, that Lee Grant is now Lee Grant is our manager. He will know the likes of John Walters well from their time at Stoke together. So, maybe is that going to sway the deal in our favour? So again, that Lee Grant connection. If we can actually get a few players in that, Lee Grant has connections with, then look, he is brilliant, really, isn't it? But look, yeah. So that's where we're at with the Nathan Lowe situation. So we're going to be. Looks like Wycombe are wanting him as well. So it just depends where he wants to go. And I think personally, he probably may want to look at kind of staying up north. I think Stoke is technically north, but I think he might want to stay up north, if you could say so. And I think maybe that will give us a bit of an edge as well. But look, if we can actually get this guy in, I'm really happy. Obviously, anybody that we all would be happy, won't we? Because he is a goal scorer. We know how we've struggled for goals, and he's guaranteed to get you goals in League One. There's no, I don't even need. We know what he's about. We can see what he's about. We you know what I mean. So we don't even need to debate that. That is what he's going to come in and score goals in this team if he comes in. That's the way I see it. Because, like I said, even if maybe his teammates aren't actually helping him out, he creates something out of nothing. That's how good this guy is, and that's the way I see it. So, look, let me know your thoughts on the Nathan Lowe situation. Obviously, I think we've kind of covered it anyway, but yeah, look, Nathan Lowe, I think it's a big tick for me. I would love to see him come in, but let's see how it develops over the next week, I guess. But look, this is now the time when I speak about the players that we were linked with, but we missed out on now. Because obviously, I've not really been kind of staying a bit quiet about this, because obviously, I was kind of saving my thoughts for this kind of section that I planned to do in this new show. But yes, obviously, Fraser Horsfall, the central defender, had been offered a contract at Town, according to sources, but opted to move to Blackpool. Now, if you look at the length of the contract that Blackpool offered him, by the way, and that he obviously accepted, 4 years that he signed for them, we clearly didn't want to offer him that length of a contract, which is a wise decision, as it would have been silly, in my opinion, to do so. In years gone by, we have handed out those long contracts to players because they've asked for them, and we've just kind of given in to their requests. But no, I think the way I like about this kind of situation is we've stayed firm. We've said, no, we're not going to offer you a 4-year contract. You take what we're offering you, right? You don't come. End of. That's what I like about it, guys. And for me, Horsfall is 28, obviously. And yeah, look, he's not the quickest. And I'm not going to sit here and say I didn't want him, because I did come out and say I did want him. But I'm just saying he isn't the quickest. And we do need pace at the back. And we haven't had that, for a while now, in my opinion. But look, yeah, the reality is he didn't want to offer the terms that we'd reportedly offered him. So that's on him, not us. So we can't do any more than what we did. People can say, well, it was a big loss, missing out. No, there's plenty more options out there that we can go after. But the thing is we do need to start getting our defence sorted sooner rather than later. And I think we need the next player that we're really going for now actually make sure that they do actually accept our terms, because we can't keep getting turned down with these because players are wanting longer contracts or whatever. No, we've got, but the thing is, so yeah, I do like the way Town have dealt with it, because like I said, that's where the changes come from. I see that change right now with the fact is we haven't given in to what the player wants. We offer our terms, take it or leave it. If you want to leave it, leave it. He's left it. He's gone to Blackpool. Fair play. That's all I'm going to say on about. Obviously, the next player that obviously was linked with us, but it wasn't as concrete as Fraser Horsfall's kind of contract that he was offered at Town. But Michael Ikoue was linked to a move to us, but also opted to move to Blackpool. Again, the contract length he signed there was a 3-year deal. So to offer a 32-year-old a 3-year deal, I mean, that would have been foolish for us to do. I don't care what other clubs are doing. I think for us, no, we don't want to be offering that amount of a contract to a 32-year-old in all due respects. Again, this player I'm not too I'm gutted with I'm not really too gutted about this one, really, if I'm being honest with you. I do think there's better options out there. I think he was probably going to be one that was potentially going to be a bit part player and have a player that liked him on the bench. He wasn't really a starter, in my opinion, if he would have come here. But look, for me, not much pace. Yes, he may be experienced, but look, we have lacked that pace, as I said earlier, for a while now. And the only one for me who did have pace for us was Helik. And you could say Balka had pace as well a little bit, but we didn't really get to see that enough to do it because he's always injured. So, I'm not even going to include him in that category, to be honest with you. So, yeah, we just move on and see who else is out there. So that's my opinions on the two players that we missed out on, guys. It is what it is, but we just need to make sure that we're trying to, get some of our targets in now in the next week, and start sorting that defence out. Now, obviously, there is still hope for Hakeem Adofin to come in. They've been released by Rotherham, their best player last season, as they already covered. I'd love to see him come in. I'd also love to see Powdy O'Connor from Lincoln as well come in all my opinion. I think he's a great player. But there's many other options out there that we can look at. So, yeah, let's see what happens with that. So, yes, obviously I did cover this story as well. I think it was yesterday, wasn't it? Obviously, Man United young star Jack Moorhouse linked to a move on loan to us. So he plays in central midfield. I've already kind of alluded to it, though, and I'm kind of touch on it briefly. I think it would be a fantastic move if we can get him in. I think he's ready for that step up to the men's game now. And I think using that league rank connection with United, hopefully, means that he will come to he will choose us and come and play for us next season. Look, for me, very technically gifted, talented, and has that special aura about him too. Very confident on the ball as well. And, we do need a blend of youth and experience in that midfield. And this guy would fit the bill as one of the younger lads to be involved in that midfield. There's a place for him in this side as far as I'm concerned. Because, like I said, our midfield has been weak for too long now. It's been pathetic, actually, our midfield for too long. So, yeah, we need some midfielders in there that can actually dictate things and dominate the game. And look, we've got Ledson in now. Believe that he can really be a fantastic, addition in our midfield. And look, bringing somebody like Moorhouse, I think, look, he's got the world at his feet, hungry to improve, learn, and develop even more. And look, clearly a player that plays way above his years as well. Obviously only 19, but plays like he's older than that. So he's very maturity of this guy. So look, quality player, and I would love to see Jack Moorhouse come in for sure. Josh says Jack Moorhouse is a talent. Yeah, no, honestly, mate, I've seen him a few times, to be fair, and yeah, I do like him. And yeah, I think it would be a real. That's where you can get some really good really quality players in the low market, can't you? You can really go to the Premier League clubs, and the Premier League clubs are quite happy to loan out to League One, and say, look, we're going to make sure that he gets plenty of game time, and he will develop with us, and then obviously, so you can get good loan players from the Premier League when you are in likes of League One and things. So yeah, does kind of excite me if he does come in, but we'll have to wait and see. He's got obviously a few other clubs interested in him. Surprise, surprise. So yeah, no, Stockport was a club that he's linked with, obviously. But yeah, I just hope he chooses us. Johnson is very good. He's very good, and would like him to get a loan deal to an EFL team that will guarantee him first team football. Yeah, you'd like him. Yeah, you'd like him to do it. Yeah, no, but honestly, it's we'll happily look after him and let him showcase his talents, of course. But yes, let's see what happens with that, guys, over the coming week then. Hopefully we do hear something else from that very soon. Obviously United will be looking to loan him out. So, Yeah, sometimes loans can happen a little bit later on, but yeah, look, if we can get it done now, then let's get it done. Now on to some of the newer rumours now. This is the section where I do go into some of the newer rumours that I haven't covered this week, or maybe they've just actually come to fruition over the past 24 hours and I haven't really had a chance to come in here and speak about them just yet because I've had other kind of ideas that I've done and things like that and other content things. So yeah, this just gives us a chance to catch up with everything that we've missed in between all of it as well. So that's why I do think this show is good, to be honest with you. But first, make sure you do drop a like, subscribe. Let's try and get to 900 subscribers. We are 14 away now. So yes, would love for you to help me get to 900 very soon. As you can probably tell, I am really working hard behind the scenes to bring consistent content and content that you guys will enjoy as well. So hopefully you are enjoying what I'm putting out there. And yeah, I appreciate everybody that does watch my videos, whoever subscribed new to it and who've still supported me from the very beginning to now. I appreciate you all. Just as a United fan, I would love to see our top talents in the academy to AFL teams that will guarantee them first team football because we have a world-class academy. Obviously United do have a fantastic academy. Obviously bring some players through, haven't you? I think obviously it's good for these younger lads in in these academies that do get a chance to go out on loan, experience men's football. It does the world of good for them, doesn't it? You know what I mean? And especially, look, some loans don't work out, some do. That's part and parcel of football, unfortunately. But I think more often than not, players like a Jack Moorhouse will go out and really enjoy himself, enjoy playing consistent minutes, and the challenge that comes with playing in the men's game as well. I do think that, he's going to be really wanting to showcase what he can do and give his all for us as well. So, that's part and parcel of younger players developing and pushing into first team football by being given the opportunity by the lower league teams in the EFL and then build your way up. You know what I mean? That's what you're going to do. But yes, let's get into some of the newer kind of rumours. As of last night, so yes, I haven't had a chance to cover this story, but obviously I thought I'd wait until tonight to do this. Obviously, Peter O'Rourke reported that we are actually eyeing up a move for Wycombe defender Joe Lowe. Now, this obviously does seem quite genuine, especially as a recognisable journalist like Pete has good sources, so I do trust Pete, to be honest with you. Now, if you look at the profile of Joe Lowe, I know quite a lot of people know him already because, look, he was a brilliant defender for Wycombe last season. Obviously, 23 years of age, centre-back. So he's got quite a bit of experience behind him in the EFL, even though he's only 23. But, you know what I mean? So, look, for me, again, another name that I didn't mention before, actually. I would love to see him come in, to be fair. I think he's a very good, solid defender. Reliable, always available more often than not. Played 38 times in the league for Wycombe last season in the league. A tall, physical presence at the back. Isn't easily bullied off the ball. Does have pace about him. You know what I mean? And and if you remember as well, guys, this guy had plenty of championship interest in January. But obviously, following the appointment of Mike Dodds as their manager, he found his form dwindling, ending the season on the bench. So yes, didn't really have the best ending to the season, but did showcase what he could do before that. And look, the fact that championship clubs were lurking in January shows how good of a player he showed in that for the first part of the season. I do rate him. I do think he would be a player that would look. He knows the league as well. He knows the league already, so he doesn't need to settle in. He knows the league. He's ready to get going again. And look, I think if we did actually pull this sign off, I think it would be a fantastic buy for us. Good age as well. Like I say, got experience. but still fairly young. And yes, a really exciting centre-back that would be welcome for sure. So yeah, that's my opinions on that. By the way, guys, get your thoughts, and if you want to kind of contribute, let me know. Would you take Joe Lowe from Wickham? Let me know in the comments. But yes, in the meantime, let's go on to the next player. Obviously, Malik Wilks is another name that has been linked to a move to the club after being released. Numerous clubs are circling here, so we will face plenty of competition. Now, his player profile, obviously, he's 26 years of age. Wilks is a right winger. That's his favourite position. But he can play on the left too and can utilise as a centre forward if necessary. So yes, another player that is reliable, is always available. Arguably, at his age, he's about to come into his prime as well. He's a player that is dangerous on the wing, always causing problems, and someone I can see fitting our team next season. He's a player that gets you off your seat and excites you, by the way he plays. Dynamic, strong, powerful, plenty of pace, always looking to drive forward, as you'd expect from a winger, and take on his man. And look, he is very experienced as well. He's been around, hasn't he? So obviously played at the likes of Hull, Barnsley, Rotherham, and Sheffield Wednesday. So look, Malik Wilks is a player that I do think would be a good player to bring in. And I think, yes, I would like this signing for sure. I think he's a really good player, to be honest. Jensen's in the building. Says, hello, mate. Hope you're doing good. Hoping these rumours turn out to be true. Yeah, look, obviously, hello to you, Jensen. Yeah, obviously, you never know what's true and what's not, do you? But I can take my source. I can look at where the source is coming from before I'm actually going to mention it. And some of these sources are kind of trustworthy, in my opinion. But yeah, hopefully we start. Looks like we're not going to get anybody in now until next week, but hopefully maybe we'll get a sign on Monday. And yeah, that'd be nice, wouldn't it? Or early next week, Monday, Tuesday, just to start, sorting out our defence. I think our defence does need sorting out first and foremost, to be honest with you. And then, yeah, we can kind of keep adding additions in other areas in the midfield as well. We need some players in the midfield. Max, I'm glad you missed out on Horsefall and Iko. Can never say his name, Iekoe. 4 and 3 year contracts, too long for their ages. Yeah, no, I kind of alluded to that earlier, Michael, to be honest with you. Yeah, I do agree. I said it earlier. And yeah, would have been foolish. But as I said, we've learned our lesson, because we would have handed those contracts out to those kind of people, because that's how we used to operate. Now I see a slight change in the way we operate with recruiting now. Even though it's still early days in that change, but we would have got these players in, and allowed them to just demand what they wanted. But no, we've stayed firm, and that's what I like. So yeah, obviously that is kind of all the latest rumours I have at the moment. Obviously we have kind of seen about Sorba Thomas going to Stoke, but I haven't actually seen anything official, if you could say so, about that story, to be honest with you. Some of these reports can be. And the thing is, the guy that runs the Terriers fan account on Instagram, not on Instagram and X, sorry, he's on both, isn't he? He's apparently said here that Sorba is going to Stoke City, and apparently he's reportedly had a medical at Stoke. It's for a possible swap deal with Stoke attacker Nathan Lowe. Loan is in progress, but I don't know where he's got that source from. He hasn't even specified. So again, you just don't know what to believe, do you? But look, if we do get Nathan Lowe, then wow, that would be it. I know that I said we need defenders, but look, if we could get Nathan Lowe in, then we don't need to worry about strikers at that point. For me, I mean, to be fair, we might want to try and get another striker in, but we have got, I think, 3 strikers in the building that will contribute. Well, we hope Charles will come good. Obviously, Taylor. Obviously, I think Taylor, good pre-season under his belt. I think he will be good for us next season, guys. And then get Lowe in. Got 3 options there. I think that would be brilliant for us, to be honest with you. Now let's have a look. What kind of doing this off the cuff now, guys? But I think I'm just kind of looking at what else is going on. Let's have a look. Yeah, the Yorkshire Post has already kind of alluded to that we're in for Joe Lowe and Nathan Lowe, so yeah, I've already kind of mentioned that anyway, haven't I? But look, I think, look, as far as I'm concerned, in terms of the Sorba situation, I'd be glad to see the back of him. I think I've already kind of said it before, guys, to be fair, but I just think the way he has behaved, the way he has just disrespected the club, really, that gave him this platform to play at this level to begin with. When we were in the Championship at the point when he came in, remember, we gave him a platform to go on to get capped for Wales and to do what he's done, but he's just completely thrown it back in our face by being the spoiled brat that he is. And I think, yeah, it's a shame, really. Look, a good player, but his attitude absolutely is a disgrace, in my opinion. Thinks he's bigger than the club, and yeah, you don't need players around in a dressing room like that. Just too much of an ego, and it seems to me that getting international calls and things, that it's gone to his head a little bit, and he's gotten too big for his boots. Don't think he's particularly surrounded with the best people for him either. I think he's very badly advised. People around him don't really help his cause. But yeah, no, I think he's very childish. And look, if it is to be the end for Sorba Thomas, I'll be glad. And yeah, we can move on. But still kind of leaves a bit of sour taste in your mouth, doesn't it, really, when it's kind of turned out the way it has with him. And it was pretty obvious he hasn't really had a future at the club for a good while now, to be honest with you, isn't it? You know what I mean? He hasn't had a future with us for a while. So he went out on loan last season as well, and see, it was pretty evident that there was no way coming back from how he's behaved in the past, in my opinion. And yeah, look, Stoke look like they're going to sign him. So we'll wait for official confirmation of that. The sun is getting my eyes here, guys. We'll wait for official confirmation of that and obviously react to it when it does actually happen. But at the moment, it is obviously kind of not confirmed yet. So we'll just kind of leave it at that for now. But yeah, I mean, anybody else got anything else to say? But I do like to get to the hour mark, but we seem to have gone way below that this evening. But yeah, any more kind of... I'm just going to look through here, see what else we've got going on. Don't think there's anything else really to kind of report at the moment. I mean, look, if we can actually get some of these signs through the door, guys, that we've been linked with, it will really excite me, really. You know what I mean? Get Lowe over the line, get Joe Lowe as well, so the player that I just mentioned earlier, defender, and Powdy O'Connor. If we got those 3 players in, that would just be brilliant for us, wouldn't it? Next season, we'd be laughing. We would really be laughing. You need quality, you need experience, and you need players that are going to run the hard yards and are ambitious to get this club back to the Championship, actually succeed, not just pick up a wage and perform however they want to, or perform when they want to do. No, we need players that will perform every week and players that want to play for the club. Wayne says, need to get rid of Freddie Ladab. I mean, yeah, we do, but the reality is, who's going to take him, Wayne? I don't really see clubs queuing up for him, do you? I think it's pretty... I think it kind of feels to me that we stuck with him, unfortunately. So yes, I would have just preferred that we didn't sign him at all. But yes, that has already happened now, so we can't do anything about it. But yes, any more comments and contributions? Get them in before we do wrap up the show. But yes, we are kind of running a bit. We haven't really done much of a 38 minutes. I think I got to 45 minutes the other day with my last live show. So but I suppose Marcus, would be good if we get Joe Lowe and Paddy O'Connor. Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah. So it does feel like we're going to actually... The parallel, Sorba Thomas isn't actually heading out as on a permanent. It's supposed to be a loan for Sorba to Stoke, which I'm not entirely sure how that kind of helps us. But yeah, we really did want to be looking at a permanent deal for him, really. But again, don't really recognise the guy that said this anyway, so I can kind of just take it with a pinch of salt. There's a lot of people that just pretend that they're ITKs on X when they're not really. They don't have a clue what's going on. Saw a picture of Bojan. Looks like a Slim Shady. Oh, what? I mean, look, it'd be interesting to see what the likes of where does Bojan fit in this team. To be fair, for me, he doesn't fit in the team. And look, sure, don't know if anybody back in Finland wants to buy him. I don't know. Or potentially could go back out on loan again somewhere. But I can't really see Lee Grant wanting him for next season, to be honest with you. That's just the way I see it. And especially if we're bringing in Nathan Lowe as well, just puts Bojan right down the pecking order even more. So yeah, that's the way I see it really with that one. But it's going to be interesting. So like I said, we'll have to see what happens. So yeah, look guys, I'm not going to keep rambling on. Obviously, I think I've kind of covered what I need to cover tonight. Would have been nice to stay on a little bit longer, but obviously I've kind of got through what I wanted to get through quite quickly, to be honest with you. So yes, I think that's maybe something to bear in mind moving forward with these shows in terms of if they're worth doing. So I think we'll kind of play it by ear really with that one, because like I say, we may have loads of news next week that we can come on and talk about, but on the other hand, there might be not as much. From our perspective, we want to have loads to talk about, but we'll have to wait and see. But yes, any final messages, get them in. But I think I'm going to wrap up in a moment. I'm going to head off. Because, yeah, that's all there is to say on the matter, right? But, yeah, I mean, it will be interesting to see what happens, in the next week. What kind of players we hope to get through the door by next week will be good. Malik Wilks is on international duty with Wales. Don't think he'd be having a medical. To be fair though, Michael. Sorry, guys. To be fair though, Michael, these players nowadays can have medicals wherever they are. You know what I mean? Don't have to be. It's not like how it used to be. You can have your medical wherever now, so he could potentially have having his medical whilst he's away. To be honest with you, but we'll just have to wait and see. We'll wait for official confirmation of those, and hopefully Nathan Lowe coming to us would be huge. Absolutely. And especially, remember how good, well, for me personally, I don't know about anybody else out there, but for me, in January, when we were linked with him, and there were talks about him coming here in January, I did get excited, and then obviously when it didn't happen, I was really gutted. But if we get him now, it'll feel even sweeter, because yes, you've kind of got to be a bit apprehensive about what Stoke will do because of what they did with Walsall when they recalled him in January. So even, you know what I mean? So obviously, potentially, really, they would have been best off keeping him at Walsall for the full season instead of recalling back, because he did end up ending back in the under-21s for Stoke in the end. So it did seem a bit pointless why they recalled him in the first place. But yeah, if we get him this time, it'll be even sweeter. And yeah, it would certainly excite people. Wales stuff isn't too far, to be fair. Yeah, I guess not. Is that? But like I say, players don't have to have the medical in the place that they're signing for, guys. You know, times have changed now. Yeah, it used to be like that a few years ago, but like I said, it's changed. So players can have medicals wherever. But look, guys, I am going to wrap up now because, like I said, we've kind of come to the end of the show, and we kind of just got to the stage where I'm just waffling on now. But yes, have a good rest of the evening, whatever you get up to, and also have a good weekend. We will be back on Monday for some more Huddersfield Town content. Hopefully, some other news stories to bring to you on the channel on that day. And like I said, we'll remain consistent on the channel. So make sure you drop a like, subscribe, and share the channel around. Let's try and get to 900 subscribers as soon as we can. And I want to say thank you everyone out there for showing your support. And yeah, I know I say it a lot, but honestly, it means a lot to me. I never thought I would get to. I didn't even think I'd get to 100 subscribers, let alone nearly 900 and nearly 100 away from 1K, which would just be in dreamland for me personally. It is a big thing to be able to reach that target. So yes, any help, it would really mean a lot to me. Let's have a look at the likes. Come on, we've had about 18 of you here, only 11 likes. It is 13 likes now. So yes, have a good weekend. Thank you all for commenting, whoever's commented, I appreciate it. And like I said, we're back on Monday for some more content. Yes, until then, take care, stay safe. And as always, up the town, Lee Grant's Barmy Army. See you later, guys, and have a fantastic weekend, whatever you get up to. See you later.